YouTube? Welcome back to Unix TCG, and today we're going to go over the 5 leaders, actually no, 6 leaders being introduced in set 3 and how they kind of fit into the grand scheme of the game, because I do believe that some of these leaders will help shape the meta, whereas some of these leaders are bringing more to the meta in the form of their archetypes or their key cards more so than their leader effects. So buckle in, we're gonna have a nice discussion, and let's see if we can get this video over 100 likes. I know you guys can do it. Past that, I am currently at Gen Con, so if you guys are around and you want to potentially talk, play some games, if I have the time, I'm down to clown. So just see if you can find me, and yeah, we'll talk it out. Last but not least, if you want some more exclusive content, I've got my first initial deck list as well as untapped showcases for the leaders so far of Bardock, SS4 Goku, Blue Goku, and Green Piccolo. And when I'm back from Gen Con, I'll start working on Jiren as well as Majin Buu. So past that, we also have a giveaway going on with this top 64 Vegeta. This is like the second to last day that you can enter it before I close those off and pick the winner when I get back, and then we'll move on to the next month's giveaway. So with that being said, let us hop into the content, and thank you guys for your support. All right, so we're gonna start off in the order of color. So of course that starts off with Jiren himself. Now, a couple things about Jiren that are cool. He is definitely our first 25k red leader. It looks like they're going around. For you guys that aren't really hip, you started off with Broly in the starter decks, and then we didn't have one in set 1. Then following set 2, we had Zamasu in blue, and now in set 3 we have Jiren in red. So there's only 2 different colors that don't have it, that being yellow, and I'm sure that's next set, and then maybe we'll get another one in black later, maybe 2 sets from now, who knows. But this Jiren card is going to attack, draw a card, and awaken at 3. Now when he flips over, he really does have an effect that is permanent. If you have a battle card with 30,000 power or more, you can only take up to 1 damage each battle, and then when you take a damage, draw a card. Now, I don't think many people need to say this, but a leader, to be good, has to be one of 2 things. Either A, his effect has to stand alone, be so good that you just can put the best cards of the color around him, i.e. Vegeta in blue, i.e. Frieza in yellow, or you have to have support that works so well with your leader, and your leader is the master cog to that deck, making it that strong, i.e. top coup pre-ban. And so because of this, Jiren doesn't fall into either category. Well, he could have. You can see right here, he's got a cool permanent, but the only card currently that's going to help him receive these pluses from taking a damage, drawing a card, and these things is the Jiren SR. And the Jiren SR, as cool as it is going to be a card that basically is very vulnerable to a lot of different colors. While it's on the field, yes, at any point when your opponent attacks you, single strike, double strike, no matter how strong the attack is, you can activate the Activate Battle Jiren to deal yourself a damage, then put the top card of your deck into your life so you don't take anything, and then the leader in conjunction is going to read that Jiren has 30,000 power or more, not take any more damage from the battle, that's your opponent's swing, but also since you took a damage, you're going to draw 1 card. So you drew 2 cards and didn't take a single damage. Powerful effect. However, Jiren is the only card that does this in your entire deck, and on top of that unfortunate fact, he is vulnerable to quite a lot of things. Blue is going to bottom deck him effortlessly. Black can bounce him back with Pan. There are more and more cards now in green, like the Cell and the 7-drop Broly. They're going to be able to put him into the energy. And then the other card that can really kind of get to him is red, especially Beerus, can minus him down to 0 to get around his once per turn he cannot be KO'd effect. All these things in consideration, the only deck that he can really stand up against without any fear of them cutting off your main mechanic is basically yellow. And as a red deck, you should be favored into yellow already, especially as a 25k red leader. So the only deck that can't disrupt your plan is the deck that you have naturally are built to beat. And I think that's just not enough to put Jiren in a very, very, very reliable tier, unfortunately. But there is hope for all you Jiren fans, including myself, because I think Jiren is a really cool character. Next set, we are going to be back in TOP, and I would be very surprised if they spoil, or if they tease Ultra Instinct Goku, Master Ultra Instinct Goku, and don't put him back in red. And if he's going in red, you can bet there are going to be some Jiren cards in red too. So I'm assuming that next set, we're going to see the fleshing out of Jiren's archetype, and it may actually get support that it's going to go hard enough for it to become a top tier deck. That's what I'm hoping. So Jiren, I'm putting into the shelve it for later series. That's kind of just where I am right now. Of course, always in the comments, let me know how you feel, but that's just currently how I'm kind of vibing Jiren. Next, we're gonna go over to Goku. Standard on the front, when attacking, draw 1 card, awakens at 4. When he flips over, he is a when attacking, draw 2 cards, then place 1 card from your hand to top of its owner's deck. Activate battle, opponent's turn once per turn. Switch 1 card in your battle area to rest mode. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, this card gains plus 10,000 power for the turn, or for the battle. This guy is good, in my opinion. I was messing around with the deck list on my Patreon and doing some reps on Untap, and he sees so much. You can free up your deck space quite a lot. Between him and the Gohan promo that's coming out this set, you're able to go through so many cards that almost nothing's out of reach. Unless it's in your last life, you're probably going to see it. You can turn certain cards down to 2s that you never wanted to put up to 3s, and those 2s feel as solid as they were 3s. Your 2 5-drop Vegeta double strikers, your 2 Goku black 6-drops, you're going to see those like clockwork. And your 4-ofs, you're going to see like your life depended on it, to be honest. This leader is wonderful because he's going to be able to make sure that you see your responsive cards, you see your bombs, you see the in-between cards, and then on top of that, when you do get down to 7 cards in hand, he's got 1 more line of defense that counts as a 10k. He is defensive when he needs to be. He's filter on a stick. This is honestly one of the leaders that fits into that first category I spoke of, where he is so good that you're just able to put the best blue cards in the game around him, and he just makes them better. He elevates them. So yes, this is, I think, one of the best, if not the best leader coming out of this set in comparison to each other. This guy's just generically good, and there's nothing that really holds him back from being good except the card pool of blue itself. So yeah, I definitely put this guy sitting here a little higher up, just at the top of this food chain for this. Now we're gonna go over to the next leader. This is Piccolo. When attacking, draw 1 card, activate battle, and then if their conditions are met, your life is at 4 or less, draw 1 card. And also, I guess, we'll circle back. I'll talk about it kind of towards the end. Piccolo is very, very interesting. Right off the bat, because there's so much building that has to go into him, it's a low counter value but high explosive damage type deck. He can do things that other green leaders are incapable of doing. He doesn't have to get things to the board in order to clear out somebody's life total, which means he can't be stunned or blocked in traditional ways, but he is the trickiest, I think, of this entire set to build. So if there was one wild card in this set, I would have to give it to Piccolo, because when Piccolo gets its main game focus going, there is nothing you can really do to stop it. You're just getting hit with like 80, 90k attacks and like just looking at it like, well, okay, I guess that sucks. And you either block the first one and come out half your hand, or you don't block and he gets to swing again. So yeah, this guy demands attention, and he will be the most fun. If he can be cracked, he will be cracked. And if he cannot be cracked, then we'll shelve him, and there might be some time where some cards mess up and make him super relevant. Yeah, that's just pretty much this. Then you have Bobbity / Majin Buu. Bobbity / Majin Buu is a card that right off the bat you can see. Like when I was talking about these 2 categories, Piccolo may have fallen in a category where we might see. If we can crack the deck, he is definitely one of those leaders that'll make, like, he's a fusion. His leader skill is unique, and as a master cog, he would make his archetype broken. But we don't know that yet. Majin Buu, unfortunately, needs to be the master cog of a strong archetype, and his archetype is not strong. And there's a lot of things I can talk about on this. Everything that you can play out at the end of your turn with Majin Buu is so low impact it hurts. The things that you can't play out with Majin Buu are not leader locked, and so you could literally scoop them up and play them in Frieza or Vegeta, and they're better cards. You could literally stick 2 barrier Majin Buus on the board in Frieza and never actually have to play another card again and devote everything else to defense. Like, it really is that simple. You swing, you swing, you swing, you swing at your leader, you swing at 225k as you pass. Like, untap them. Like, it's not that simple, but like, really, it's disgusting. And even Majin Vegeta, you attack, you blow up something, you untap him, you attack again, Frieza untaps him again. It's kind of funny. Whereas Majin Buu is just not doing enough. The Babidis and the Majin Vegetas and the Majin Buu are probably the best cards in the deck, and they're not leader locked, so you can really just play a better leader. Unfortunately, I will, like, the only reason why this guy is above Jiren, in my opinion, is because as a whole, yellow is gaining better cards, and at least he can function against a fair amount of decks. Like, Jiren is actually getting cut off by multiple colors. Then next, we have Son Goku GT, and Son Goku GT is actually, I think, one of the stronger leaders of the set. When attacking, draw 1 card, and then awaken at 4. You flip him over, and he is, when attacking, draw 1 card, activate main once per turn, 1, choose up to 1 of your battle cards, and it gains plus 10k power until the end of your opponent's next turn. If you remove an energy marker for the skill, it gains plus 15k power instead. Now, I did this fairly recently. I did this earlier, I just did this yesterday on the Patreon. This guy has one of the most cracked interactions I felt in this game with the 3-cost Bardock, because you can play the 3-cost Bardock and then activate the leader effect, getting rid of the energy marker to give Bardock plus 15. That's going to make Bardock a 35k. You attack with Bardock, you combo, so he goes up to either 40 or 45k depending on what you comboed. You draw a card, you untap him, he still has the 15, so you can swing for another 35k swing or combo on that too. And then he's 35k for the rest of your opponent's turn. So they have to remove him through effect, because swinging over 35k is not exactly easy. So this is one of the greatest interactions of the set, simplistic, straightforward, and it's a numbers push. And yeah, I just think that Son Goku GT and Bardock SR are just a match made in heaven. And off of that alone, you're pulling off so much pressure that the rest of the deck can be modulated to however you want to craft it, to stay alive, to destroy cards, all these things. I think this is good. I'm not sure if if he's not around the same level of format shaping as Blue Goku, I think that he's like right under it, really. And then the last one we have here is Bardock. Bardock on his front side is another simple draw 1, awaken at 4. Now when he flips over, his he's got a couple scary things. His base 5k, right? His base extra 5k for the turn is going to be very, very strong. In this sense, both Bardock and SS4 are very strong leaders on their own. The difference, though, is that they do sit on different sides of the spectrum with that. SS4 is a leader that can literally be as good as the black card pool is. As long as you can make energy markers, and there are dual attackers that can abuse gaining 15k for an entire turn, not just for a swing, Goku is going to elevate it. Bardock, however, has the shackles of needing Bardock's crew in your deck enough to get his effect of comboing from the top of your deck. So Bardock automatically, I think, falls a peg below SS4 Goku. That's just me personally. I think he's a strong leader, but he falls below just a wee bit. So real quick, we are going to have a sponsors note, and then after that, I'm going to put all these leaders on the screen, and we've already talked about them as leaders, but I'm going to talk about what their archetypes bring to the game and how that is, in my opinion. All right, y'all, taking a quick moment to shout out the sponsors for this video. First up is Mystic TCG, a store based in Missouri that sells all sorts of TCG product, even more than what you see featured here on this page. They also buy singles, collections, and prize cards, so make sure you actually catch them out in their store in Missouri at an event, or even on their Facebook, just to be able to see the events here, but also ask them what they're up to and what they're looking for in terms of vending. You can also use the code UNIXTCG to get discounts off your pre-orders as well as orders, so make sure you get your TCG product while it's hot. Then you have Eclipse Cards and Hobby based out of Texas, and if that sounds familiar, they did sponsor me with a box of Fusion World Set 1. But as you can see on this page, there is a plethora of TCG products that they are actually having for sale at their establishment. You can also even buy things that aren't just TCG products. As you can see on the screen right here, they hold their own locals, they hold their own events, and they are going out to more and more events. You can actually check their Facebook to see their schedule, as well as call and ask about their vending list. And at the checkout for their website, you can use the code UNI10X to actually get percentages off your pre-orders or your orders. So go check it out as well. And we're always up to all sorts of things in Universe X. So you can go down the description and check the link tree to find out about my other channels, my Twitch, or any other avenues that I'm creating content on. But if you want to go the extra mile, you can always go down to any description on any video and find my Amazon affiliate links. These products here will differ from video to video to cater to the audience in question, but it's just very easy to see something that you may like or be interested in, open it up and choose the style and or color that'll work for you. All proceeds will give kickbacks to the channel, so there'll be some direct support, and I'll always appreciate the help from you guys. So with that being said, let's get back to the video. Yeah, great sponsors. And we are all here at Gen Con, both Mystic TCG as well as Eclipse Cards and Hobbies. Now Eden, owner of Mystic TCG, will be taking any prize card you can win on the Bandai card game circuit this weekend. So if you want some cash in your pockets, he's the dude. Ask me if you need to find him or find him yourself. That being said, if you really want to help me out past this channel, you can always go over to UniX Dragon Ball, UniX DB, hit a subscribe button, hit a like on some videos, give it some watch hours, because if I'm monetized by October, I'll be giving away 2 copies of Sparking Zero, and it will really help me out as a content creator to have a second channel monetized. With that being said, let's get back to the content. Okay, so when it comes to this as basically just a, we have all the leaders on the screen. When it comes to Jiren, I think just from my evaluation before, you have to understand Jiren is definitely not gonna shape the format by himself. He's a leader where in red, normally you want to awaken because your backside, your awaken side is like the strongest. It has these effects, these game-changing effects. Jiren's not one of those. He is very prone to folding once you flip him over because you just have to out Jiren, and then he's a liability. You have to out Jiren SR and he's a liability. So because of that, you are now at this point where Jiren is he's just a non-factor as a leader kind of, and you have to look at his archetype and what is his archetype bringing to the game. For the most part, one of the best cards is probably Topo, who's gonna just discard a card and then destroy something with 25k or less. And outside of Topo, and yeah, draw 2 on KO. Outside of Topo, you're looking at like Margarita, which is going to just I guess it's Universe 11. It's not quite Jiren because there's not like that, but Margarita is going to just give a battle card plus 10k just for being played if you're awakened. So honestly, Jiren, it's unfortunate, but until we can see what support he may get next set, Jiren doesn't add much to the format as a leader, nor does he bring too many shining gems to the format. Red just kind of hit a wall, which is fine because Red was ballistic. It went berserk in set 2. So you know what? Give him a little backseat for set 3. Moving on to Blue, not only is Goku probably adding, in my opinion, de facto Blue's best leader, if not tied with Vegeta in this next set. Vegeta has more power, Goku has more filtering and consistency. I think that that this Goku, even as an archetype, is bringing some gems into the game. Videl is going to do great things with the peel-off engine, kind of extend that. Gohan fixes a huge problem. Blue normally has to decide whether they assess your board or assess the pressure that they can put on you. Gohan does both. A mini sickle or a full sickle with a Vegito on the board and then a 30k body behind it is great. And he's not just a good card. His power and his stats allow him to be played off of Goku Black. So one of your better cards gets even better. Like, it is insane. So like, I think Blue is just a winner in general. The leader is bringing something strong to the set, and his cards are bringing more assets to the meta. So yes, I think, yeah, in that case, you're looking at Blue being right at the top of this list in terms of relevance with both the leader and the archetype. Now we look at Piccolo. Piccolo is very interesting. Like I said, Piccolo is definitely going to do his thing if he can be cracked. He has some very unavoidable feeling pressure, and that's always going to be something like interesting to think about. but at the same time, we don't know his impact because he's still very, very tricky to build. Past that, his archetype is a little odd. Not all of it is leader locked, but some of it is. Like he has his own destructive strength that can also be played as an activate battle to give him plus 40k, I think, for the turn. Very, very strong, but you can't really use that outside of him. However, the cards he's bringing into the game, I am going to count Gohan SR because it's really just meant to make your leader bigger, to make the swing bigger. Gohan SR, Special Beam Cannon, the Piccolo. That Piccolo SR is like not game warping, but it could be one day. We just need a deck that has enough cards that it wants to cheat into play that are extras, and that Piccolo is prime time. I think that we're at just a point where Piccolo, as it stands, I think the cards he's introduced for his deck are going to shape more of green than the leader himself, but that's to be determined, because this, like, I've had games so far where Piccolo has felt toxic, and I've had games where I've literally looked at my hand and been like, this is a pile of cards, yes. So Piccolo needs to be tested and vetted and eventually solved, and he may just be on Goku levels of, yes, this leader is warping the format. I don't think he's going to be on Blue's level of his cards changing the color or adding on to the color, but he's definitely got the potential to be format warping as a leader. Now we're over to Majin Buu. Unfortunately, I just have to put this leader out. Like I said, he doesn't do enough. He's extremely archetype locked, and his archetype is not that great. But the cards that Majin Buu has added to this game, that's something completely different. I think he has added some good gems to yellow. Final Explosion is destruction that we sorely needed in that deck. Majin Vegeta as a card is something we sorely needed, being able to press with 2 attacks on 1 swing and then blow up something. That's going to be great in your blue matchups. Majin Buu, the SR himself, is going to literally be night and day versus blue. They can't get rid of it unless they swing into it, and then even then you can drop cards. So if you play it in Frieza, it's just going to be a start of a board they can never clear, and that's going to allow you to put so much pressure on blue, it's not even funny. So it's going to help one of your not as great matchups, and that's wonderful. Another good card that came out of this is Majin Buu, or the Bibbidi, the 1-drop barrier that's going to have you draw a card every time a 3-drop swings at you. That's stupid. That card is great. None of them leader locked. Nothing I said here was leader locked, so you can just use them in Frieza and Vegeta and be a happy camper. But yes, I think Majin Buu may have failed us as a leader for now, until we get some support, but I think that Majin Buu has definitely given us some cards that make yellow way stronger as a whole, just because they were released. So then when it comes to black, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I can't really evaluate the archetype bit because black is a brand new color, so of course their archetype is warping the game. They're adding an entire new color to a game. So their archetypes are definitely like that. Now, I guess the short, simple answer is that yes, black in both leader and archetype is it's impactful to the meta. It's meta warping because you're adding new angles, new strategies, new mechanics to the game. So, I mean, I don't even really need to explain that. Like these things did not exist before. So yes, there's huge impacts coming in to this sort of thing. And yeah, you can go back on the channel. I've been putting out content for set 3 like my life depends on it, because I guess it kind of does. This is my job. So yeah, go back and look at those videos if you need any coverage. We got the 100% breakdowns out on my Patreon. We're starting to break down these decks. The only ones I haven't done yet are Majin Buu and Jiren for reasons, but we'll get to those after I get back from Gen Con. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this week of videos. I've been cranking them out, really feeling really pretty good about the content coming in set 3, and I cannot wait to keep it going. Hopefully I bring back some wins for the channel this weekend at Gen Con that you guys can be proud of, and yeah, I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, think about hitting that subscribe button. Like the video if you want to help it trend, and let me know in the comments how you feel, because I would love to know and respond as fast as I can. So thank you guys, and later.